Welcome to the Homeownership Podcast, presented by Momentum Realty, located in Hanover, Massachusetts. This series covers all things real estate and the best practices for buying, selling, and owning properties. Now here's your host, Sean Maloney.
Welcome to episode 148, 5 must-ask questions when buying a home. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Maloney. Thanks for joining me today. Today I want to talk to you about 5 questions that you should be asking yourself when buying a home. It's important that we don't just go at it and go haphazard. It's important that we do it with some decisiveness and heading in the right direction, because buying a home is a huge commitment and it's going to be with you for a while. Some of you might be with you for the rest of your life. Some of you is 5 years, 10 years, but no matter what, it's a huge decision. It's one of the largest financial decisions you're going to make. So it's important that we get these questions correct. So let's start it off. First off, who? Who is an important question. Who will be living in the home is crucial to think about. This question will really shape the decision of what house will work for you. We have all sorts of decision makers, right? We might have grandma living with us. If grandma lives with us, is she okay with doing stairs? If not, then we need a first floor bedroom. These are the types of questions we want to ask ourselves, not just today who's living with us, but who's more than a possibility? Who's someone that could end up there? Are there some kids that just moved out that might come back? Of course, we can't build for everybody, but we do want to take our own life into thought and understand who's going to be there. Do we have a lot of guests? Do we have people that come by all the time? Do we need a guest bedroom? These are things that are really going to shape the ultimate decision of what home is really going to work for you. So again, ask the who. Who's going to be there? Who's going to be visiting there? The who is a very, very important question. Another one would be the what. What are we trying to accomplish? Are we trying to do a financial move? Are we buying a home because we see it as an investment and we want to flip it? Or are we looking for a place to live? Or are we looking for a vacation home? Understanding what we're trying to do is a big part of the process. Because I know everyone says, oh yeah, my house is my investment or whatever. But I mean it in a real form. Are you moving in and out? If you are we looking for opportunity? Because that's a very important what. What is the overall goal to accomplish when we're buying this house? If we know that up front, there's lots of different homes that will not work for us, that may be outside what we're trying to accomplish. So understanding that what going to ultimately help you. And then where? Where are you okay with living with? That's something you want to figure out early. The difference in changing from town to town can be drastic. We have differences in taxes. That's a huge one, right? Taxes affect your monthly payment, which means your pre-approval might be more or less based on the actual zip code you're living in. We also have the difference between affordability. If you're willing to live 15 more minutes from Boston than you were before, that's going to greatly improve your odds of finding the home you want within the budget. Versus as we go towards the city, we need to be okay with expanding our budget to make what we want to happen, because homes are more expensive the closer they are to the city. And as we move towards the city, some of our goals might be squashed out. We might not be able to have a big piece of land. We might not be able to find that off-street parking. We might not be able to afford that extra bedroom that was going to be a guest bed. That's why it's so important when we're looking to understand where are we looking. I meet people all the time who will be looking in one neighborhood, and I say to them, just out of curiosity, what made you look into this neighborhood? Oh, well, we saw that and it's a great opportunity, distance to work. And then sometimes they'll say, okay, well, did you also know about these other towns that are the same distance to your job, also have commuter rail, but affordability is much higher? Sometimes just by simply pivoting what town, where we're looking, can make all the difference in getting that accepted offer and having it be on a home that not only are you buying, but you're excited about buying. So understanding where you're looking to go can really help us as a real estate agent. But again, you know your own where. While I can guide you to different towns that have better or worse affordability scales, that doesn't shape your life and change it. Because 20 minutes a day on both sides to commute to work is 40 minutes a day of your life that you're giving up to commuting. So I do understand that time is money and money is time, and ultimately you don't get more time in life. So if that 20 minutes a day is intruding too much, then that's what decision you need to make. Because remember, when you buy a house, you're buying it for a very long period of time. So if you buy a house and you go, oh, it's only 40 minutes each direction each day, that's not that big of a deal. How are you going to feel on day 180? How about day 720? How about day 1252? Will you still be smiling? Is that the right where? Because that's one of the questions we really want to get right. Where do we want to live? It's going to have so much of an effect on our life. Everything from how far away is grandma's house to all of these different extenuating circumstances that I, as the real estate agent, cannot help you with. You ultimately need to know that. So asking yourself where is going to be an important part of your steps to finding the right one. And then when it comes down to it, how much? How much can you afford? This is not what's on your pre-approval. This is how much money can I actually afford to spend on a house? Because I need to know my own budget. I need to know what my affordability looks like, because otherwise what can happen is I can overspend and I can set myself up to be in a situation where I can't afford where I live and it's too late. And suddenly now I can't go to dinner when I used to. I can't afford the furniture I wanted. I can't afford the different things that I thought were going to be a part of my life, and now they're out. That's a terrible way to live. It's a terrible feeling to have. But unfortunately, some people don't ask themselves, how much can I afford? They just take a look at the pre-approval and say, we can max that baby out because that's what the bank says I can afford. Again, the bank doesn't take into account your trip to Colorado. The bank doesn't take into account your Cabo San Lucas trip, all these different things that you love to do. So remember, when choosing a house, how much? Make sure to make a good decision on that. But also realize this, folks. One of the things I want you to think about is when houses include things, they're a lot cheaper in the payment scale. So what do I mean by it? Well, if a house doesn't have a fence you want, maybe the fence costs 10 to 20 grand. Are you going to have the liquid capital to be able to buy a house without a fence and then add it for 10 to 20 grand within the time frame you want? So if you've got a dog, you're moving in tomorrow, how long can you have no fence before the dog needs a fence? It seems like it might be an immediate thing, right? You need that fence right away. So that's the situation where we want to look to understand how much we can afford, so we can understand that, oh, I could put that in the payment by buying a house that already has that asset there. This has come for garages, pools, fences, different things that we might want in our life, but without having it there at the beginning, how would we add it? And how would we ever come up with the capital to make that happen? And then when? When's an important one to ask yourself. When are you looking to do something? The quicker you need to do something, the more decisive you're going to need to be, right? The more you're going to have to make those immediate decisions. This is the one, this isn't the one. When we're out looking, we need to be dead serious. We got to see every house within our budget. We have to do this now, because now is when we need to move. Understanding when you need to move can help you out in the whole process of just making sure you're taking the appropriate time to put into picking a house that's going to work for you. Guys, I hope these questions help you better understand the home buying process. If you're looking for somebody that can guide you and mentor you in buying a home, reach out to us over here at Momentum Realty. All of our agents work as what we call Move Mentors, because we believe they're both a guide and a mentor in the process of buying, selling, and owning a home. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already done so, make sure to pound that subscribe button. Tell everyone you know about it. Tell them about the great free information on buying, selling, and owning homes that you get here from our Facebook group, from our weekly newsletter, as well as our blog. Check them all out, all found under the name Homeownership. Thanks again, and have a great week.